What's up, everybody? Waiting for Jack to
Arse on here. There we go. Okay, before we even start, that jersey better be in the mail tomorrow for me.
Are you sure? Let's see what it says on the back.
I don't care what it says on the back. It don't say Matt's Hummel, so we're good.
That's true. That's true. It says winner of the World Cup 2014, Brazil.
Yeah, I've got his Germany jersey hanging up, so we could claim him as ours for that World Cup.
Oh yeah, totally.
So
That's
we've got
funny,
some. Oh, hold on, killer. We've got some people in here now. I want to introduce Jack, and I hope I don't kill his last name. Is it Grimes? Is that how you say it? Grimse. Oh, it's British, obviously.
No, I don't think so. It's it was changed by someone when they came to this country, I think, or something. I don't know.
See,
that even I don't know.
Americans always wanted to change shit. But we've got Jack Grimse here. He has been instrumental in the ICCs. He's interviewed players. He's talked to players. He's videoed players. Now he's like a social media director for, I guess, is it a video game company or is it more like a streaming service?
Yeah, so it's kind of everything. I'll kind of explain it a little bit. So I work for this company called OS. It stands for Operating System. We have a creative agency. That's why I was doing the stuff for the International Champions Cup. We have some clients in sports and esports. We work a lot with the 2K League, some other esports teams like in the Overwatch League. And then we also have a big gaming venue in New York City, which unfortunately is closed right now. But that's what we got to do. But we, like you said, we also do a lot of streaming. So we're launching our Twitch channel tonight. It's going to be called Operating System, and that's going to be really our pure gaming page. Like at our New York venue, we have a lot of events. So a lot of our gaming tournaments, but we also have had like sports business discussions and other things like that, like LGBTQ plus gaming meetup, and people can kind of talk and do things. There's like always a Magic the Gathering group that meets and they play cards, and it's really just a place for everyone to hang out. But the new thing that we're launching is just going to be like pure gaming and that kind of stuff.
And everybody, make sure you go to Jack's social media and look at his reaction to not getting his hat trick in FIFA 20. For somebody like me that really sucks at FIFA 20, I can valiantly say that last shot was trash. I mean, you went straight for the post on that one.
Man, I was like, I thought it was going to trickle in. You just know it's like, it was like this Spurs goal that I shared the other day on Twitter, where it took them like 10 attempts. They kept hitting the crossbar, kept hitting the post. It's just like, is it going to go in? You just like, maybe it's something in the code of the game that just doesn't want you to score.
It's probably the same thing that's in the code when it's like the last 10 seconds and somebody gets a corner kick. They send the corner kick in. Your goalkeeper's standing right there. And for some reason, the ball like magically goes through the keeper's body and into the net. Yes, that's happened to me. That's why I refuse to play FIFA now. There's no way in the world a ball's going through Manuel Neuer's chest in the last 2 seconds of the game. It just doesn't happen.
Well, who did it happen to where the ball went through the side of the net and it was counted as, it was like against Leverkusen a couple years ago, right?
Yeah, it was against Leverkusen. I don't know who did it, but yeah.
Goal. Yeah. Or maybe it was Stefan Kiesling that scored. Maybe it was for Leverkusen. I can't remember, but like
I know Leverkusen was in the game. I don't remember who the other one was, but yeah, I mean, when you watch it like live speed, it's one of those. It's like, well, it may have it may have went in. Hold on, and then it's like one of those things. Now, I don't advise anyone trying to share on Instagram the video of that goal, because I'll tell you right now, Fox Soccer or any of its affiliates will get you banned for sharing their content. I know this for a fact. That's why I don't have my big social media following anymore, because I did just exactly that.
Oh, I can vouch for that. Like a while ago, back when Vine was still a thing, now we have TikTok, but we used to have Vine. I think DFL Digital or one of the Fox or someone's subsidiaries banned my Vine because I was sharing Bundesliga goals. Because not very many people were sharing them back then. Like the official rights holder wasn't sharing them. No one was clipping them. So I was like, you know what, I'll post them. And they said, you know what, no.
Well, the craziest part is I've got a lot of friends that are like on Twitter and stuff, and Fox Soccer and DFL and some of these people will share the video, and then you'll see like Ian Joy and those guys retweet it. Well, I've seen personally fans that have retweeted those videos and then gotten trademark like hits and gotten banned for 7 days for violating a copyright for resharing or retweeting something. And it's like, what the fuck are you posting it for? If we can't reshare
it wasn't even my video. Or like the US men's national team, I know they've done that because some of their games there's been like no broadcaster clipping it or something. It looks like Toby McAnobie said it was Kiesling who scored, so it feels good to get that.
Fuck Leverkusen. Even though didn't you work with them or for them for a short period of time?
Yeah, so I guess a little bit about my background. I was writing a lot about the Bundesliga a few years ago. I was like out of college. I was just really, really writing a lot, freelance, emphasis on free, and covering a lot of Bundesliga because there wasn't too much coverage of it. I just love the league, so I was like, well, I'm tweeting about it. I may as well just be writing about it as well. And they did an English media tour, a U.S. media tour, so I went over through their state at the hotel that's connected to the Bayern Arena, which is actually pretty cool. And got to interview like Chicharito, some of the players around that time. Also, I got this jersey from FC Bayern when the Bundesliga, they did their like international PR, organized an English media trip for a lot of writers, and we went to Hamburg on Friday night and then Stuttgart on Saturday, and then got to see Gladbach at Bayern on Sunday. I think that was in 2016, I want to say, because Gladbach beat Bayern 2-0 at the Allianz, and I was like, what are the odds that you see this happen? But I will say...
Obviously, I wasn't there because Bayern's never lost with me in the stadium. Just letting everyone know that. But yeah, so you went from Hamburg on a Friday night to Stuttgart on a Saturday. That's a shit ton of traveling in a span of like 12 hours. I mean, granted, it's only maybe like an hour or so flight, but that's if you took a flight. So I assume you took a flight because that's a long fucking train ride.
Yeah, I think we took a train from Stuttgart to Munich, but
okay, that's not that bad.
We flew from Hamburg to Stuttgart, and then also got to visit the Klinsmann family bakery. So that was pretty interesting in Stuttgart.
We don't need that. We don't need to hear about his fucking bakery. Fucker. We need a Serge Gnabry bakery. Let's see. We have
cool. He's always cooking something up.
We have Devin for real saying what's up. Devin, for some reason, Devin just doesn't want to pick up the phone when I call him or anything, but he'll show up magically in the comments.
He got that live notification. I wanted to say that bakery shout out because my former podcast host Robert Lintott just hopped in. We used to host the Holdcast about Aston Villa on 7500 to Hold, which is SB Nation's Villa blog. So shout out Robert, and also shout out to Serge Gnabry and Sam Asfahani, my boss, who's an Arsenal fan, also at Hopton.
Arsenal fan.
He's from London.
Oh well, I mean, there's not very much talent in London. Just to let you know.
What I've been loving is when Bayern has owned London and Serge is always tweeting London is still red. That's my favorite. Like whenever Bayern, like twice Spurs and.
But see, the only thing
who
like
did they beat lately? Chelsea.
We beat Chelsea. We beat Spurs, Arsenal. Yeah, I think the only ones left is what, like Millwall or West Ham or. Yeah, I mean,
I don't think you'll have the chance to play those teams.
But no, the thing that drives me nuts when Surge is like, oh yeah, London's still red. All the Arsenal fans come out of like from under their rocks or out of the Europa League sewers and stuff like that. And they're like, oh, he's coming back. No, morons. He's not going to downgrade his career like that. And yes, Devin, I'm talking to you, all of your Arsenal people. Tell Troops I said that. I want Devin to make sure he tells Troops I said that. Because I would love to get Troops on here and tear into him. That'd be awesome.
FC Bayern Ryan Fan TV.
No, God, no. We can't do that. No.
Well, they can't even...
No, fam. We can't do that, blood.
I'm sorry. You said uncensored, so I just went off.
I don't give a shit. The only thing this is going to do, now we can't do a full hour show because I did find out yesterday that if you go the full hour and the time runs out, you can't save it to transfer it and convert it to audio. I found that out yesterday, so that sucks, but shit happens.
Oh, well, I still do have this Chrome extension. It's since been banned, but it's on my old computer. I still have it. You can download Instagram Live, and like it's how you can save stories.
What? Okay, save it and email it back to me if we got to.
I definitely will do that. It was very useful. My little brother got stuck in an elevator in like a transit elevator in Chicago. He was trapped in there for like 15 minutes and went live. So like, that was
wow.
hilarious.
Okay, yeah, that's everybody's like afraid of coronavirus and dying and like not having toilet paper and shit like that. That's my ultimate fear is to get caught in an elevator because I don't remember what movie it was when I was a kid that I saw, but like the guy got caught in the elevator and then like the little things at the top that make the elevator go up and down, the wires, they like popped and the elevator fell. So that's like my all-time scariest thing is to get caught in an elevator and then it just like free fall down. So
man, I was at jury duty like a month ago, and I was just sitting there because I didn't have anything to do, just waiting around. I found this story in the New Yorker magazine about this guy who got trapped in an elevator over a weekend. He went down for a smoke break. He was like working late on a Friday night, went down for a smoke break, came back up, trapped in the elevator until Sunday.
Oh, no.
And
that's why, like, when I get in the elevators now, and some people look at me like I'm weird because I'll look up and, like, push the roof to make sure the little trap door thing works. Like when I was in
safety valve.
Yeah, when I was in Munich, some poor old lady, she was probably in her 70s, looked at me like I was batshit crazy in my hotel because I took my crutch and was, like, pushing on the roof. And she asked me why, and I was like, because I want to make sure if we get caught in this thing, I can lift you up and put you through this hole. She's like, why me? I was like, because I'm crippled. I can't MacGyver shit with two legs that don't damn work. So you're the 70-year-old that doesn't have a crutch, so you're going up in that hole.
She's like, you must be from America if you're wondering about this kind of crazy stuff.
Well, the first thing she asked me was how much I had to drink.
Like, I only had 3 beers. They were all 1 liter each, but I only had 3 of them.
Actually, I had 4 that day.
Oh, okay.
But it was Spring Fest. We won't go down that road. Yeah, that one. I like Spring Fest, which is like the Oktoberfest's little brother or little sister, or whatever marketing book you want to read. But I mean, I like it because there's not that many people there, but I don't like it because nobody's fucking there during the day. So you look like the odd man out when you're there at noon drinking and everybody's at work. And it's like, well, this sucks. I really do look like an alcoholic right now.
They spend all their off days on Oktoberfest.
Well, you can tell when it's like when people get off work because at like 4:30 or 5 o'clock, they just roll in like crazy, and it's like, okay, well, I'm blasted right now. So,
so that Springfest, that's like obviously it's a Bavarian thing, but they have little ones in like lots of different towns. Okay, because so I was studying in Berlin in the spring of 2013. So unfortunately, I've never made it to Oktoberfest, but some of my friends lived in and Bayreuth. In Bayreuth, it's a really small town. It's from it's like very notable because of Richard Wagner. That's kind of how it's claim to fame. But we went to the Spring Fest in that town, and it's like, yeah, it's a little village, but everyone from around there kind of comes and kind of celebrates together. So that's kind of nice.
And I mean, the probably the weirdest, coolest thing that happened when I was in Munich in May was when we went to the DFB Pokal final, and we rode on like the I don't want to call it the ultras train, but it was pretty much that's what we were. But it was like we get all the way up there, and I'm like, man, I kind of want to go home. You know what I'm saying? Like, get home and all this kind of stuff. And then I was like, you know what? I can get home in like 15 minutes. I'll just take a cab to the airport, hop on an airplane. I'll be back in Munich in like 35 minutes, an hour, instead of the 10.5-hour slow grandma train that they had.
Yeah.
But the stupid Ryan didn't bring his passport with him.
Oh,
he didn't,
man.
So it was like, yeah, I maybe could take an airplane, but I can't get on it. So this is kind of dumb.
A one-way trip.
Yeah. So it's like the only way I'm doing anything is like it's a first class ticket to like jail because I'm gonna jump over some people and run. But yeah, I ended up just saying, you know what, fuck it, we'll take this old ass train back to Munich, which was it actually was really fun because it wasn't one of the like ice trains. It's like really fast and shit. But I mean, granted, you could smoke on that one. I think I don't know if we were supposed to, but we did anyway.
I mean, that's the privileges of being with the ultras, right?
Yeah. I mean, there was beer everywhere. They had I call it the club car, where like there was like 24-hour like I don't know if I call it music because it was just that like dooch, 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 dooch. That's all you heard the whole damn time. Yeah, it was just like random club music. And so we had to like go through the club car to the beer place, and we got the beer and came back, and always got hung up in the club car because everybody was dancing, and my crippled ass can't like carry a beer, walk with 2 crutches, and not fall. But like I don't know. It was fun because we went through all the like little small towns and all that kind of stuff, and it was like, this is pretty fucking awesome. I wish I'd slept like the past 14, 15 hours, and I may remember it. But no, partying for Bayern winning the Pokal all night, and then we get back to Munich, and it's like, okay, now we've got to go to the Marienplatz to do the damn trophy ceremony shit, and then go straight from there straight to the Bayern amateur game to get them into the third league. And it's like, this never stops. This is awesome. It's like, where's my beer? Chased with a monster.
Does the amateur team, they play at that stadium that's in downtown Munich, right?
The Gunvalder Stadium. Yeah.
That's a really cool ground.
The early days Bayern Munich Stadium.
Yeah, I know they used to play there, but obviously a long time ago.
And the crazy thing is my grandfather and father have seen games in Gunvalder that were Bayern Munich first team. My grandfather and father have seen games, not as many, in the Olympic Stadium, but they never saw a game in the Allianz because they'd already moved back to the United States. So yeah, all of their memories are of those stadiums. So it's like, this is pretty cool. Now I can tell you my memories of the cool stadium that lights up.
It's really interesting because it's maybe not as easy as people think to get a ticket at the Allianz, even though it is so big.
It really is. For somebody that's not local or that lives in Germany itself, it kind of could or can be a chore if you're wanting to pay a reasonable price. But then you run into a lot of like, and a lot of the fans will call them tourist type fans, and they take up a lot of the good seats. Does that make sense? Like
Yeah,
the ones
yeah.
where you're really close to the field or anything like that. So
People that
and
it's maybe their first visit, they wanna sit
yeah,
there because they haven't been there before. Yeah, like football tourists, I guess. Yeah,
yeah.
I think I know what you're saying.
And
Yeah,
the thing that drives me nuts is it's like I don't want to be there just to be like, or I don't want to sit in those lower seats just to sit in the lower seats and be, you know what I'm saying, closer to them and stuff like that. I want to sit in those lower seats so I can see.
yeah,
It's that's what I've noticed, like losing an eye and then getting in the car wreck. That's what I've noticed. Most stadiums are, and this is a majority in the U.S. Their handicap sections are so damn far back that if you have like me, where you're handicapped, but you also have like trouble seeing, you can't see from their sections. That's why
yeah.
I
I
like.
think
Have you been to the Atlanta Stadium?
no, I haven't been there yet,
Okay.
unfortunately.
Atlanta has like in Dortmund and some of the German stadiums where they have it for like wheelchair access right on the front row. So you're like right there on the field, and we got to watch who was it? It was Atlanta United versus maybe New York City FC, and like the pivotal offsides call, or the pivotal offsides that New York City wanted, but Joseph Martinez was actually onside, was literally like right in front of where we were sitting. And I just happened to be live streaming at that time. And everybody got mad because I started yelling and cussing. And I guess there's like a lot of families around. And like there's fans saying, "Oh, he's offside." I turned around, I was like, "Shut the fuck up! He was on. Look at it. It's right here. It's right here. You stupid fuck." And yeah, some old lady started throwing like popcorn and shit at us. So
Didn't
yeah,
you know that live is uncensored? Come on. Come on,
we
lady.
ended up moving to like the top of the supporter section, because it's like, yeah, we're safer here cussing and yelling and saying bad words and shit. Over there in the fucking family section, I can't hang out with them people no more.
Yeah, I feel like sometimes they put those wheelchair sections into place so that you can easily get a wheelchair there instead of going down the stairs, or so that people aren't going to be standing up and impeding your view. But they, like you said, they don't consider that if you have some accessibility issues and if you also have some vision impaired issues, then you're kind of going to be out of luck there. And it's just something that.
And the good thing in it,
you know what they got to do? They got to hire you as a consultant when they build a new stadium. So they say, okay,
yes,
if I have this issue, you know, like you're not always in a wheelchair, but if you've been in that wheelchair, you know what it's like, or if you've been on crutches, you know what it's like kind of getting around in those stadiums. You come in some places, like not as much in new stadiums, but in old places, it's a bunch of stairs to get up or something. It's like you can't walk around half a mile to get to the escalator or elevator and then walk back. You can't do that.
I mean, and going to like the Carolina Panthers stadium, that's probably one of the worst, because it's the way that it's laid out. It's horrible for anybody that's disabled. But when you go to the Atlanta Stadium, it's actually pretty cool, because they'll put you in an elevator and take you down to like the bottom level, like where all the VIPs and the people that have way too much fucking money. So they'll like stand there as the players are walking out, pop up and shit. Well, you go through that, and then you follow the little thing that says handicap people this way. They've got like a little elevator in there. So like you can move, you can roll your wheelchair up with like 3 people around you, and they'll raise the elevator up, and the little girl will come over and say, if you need to go anywhere or do anything, all you've got to do is just push this little button, and it'll call like the elevator up and shit, and she'll get me and bring me back down. I was like, dude, this is awesome. Atlanta's cool. Charlotte sucks dick.
Yeah, man, you got to make it accessible for everyone.
Oh yeah. Let's see if anybody got any questions for Jack while we're rolling around in here. I know there were some people that were saying some things, but it's pretty much just people joining.
Saying hi, hey, thanks for coming on. Thanks for
pretty
coming
much.
through.
But
spending your lunchtime with us, or whatever time it is, wherever you are in the world.
But my question to you is going to be,
Lord,
I
Lord
guess,
Frank, what's up? Sorry, I had to give a shout out.
But I'll ask you a question. On some of your social media, I've seen that you've had like interactions with different footballers and coaches and stuff like that. Two-sided question: who's the most oddball you've ever spoken to or had an interaction with, as far as a player or coach? And then which one were you expecting a certain type of person? And then when you spoke to him, you were like, okay, this dude's not the complete asshole dickhead that I thought he would be, or I thought he would be a nice guy and he turns out to be a dickhead. Yeah, you're calling out people today, but
I will say I don't know. I don't necessarily expect anyone to be rude or something, just because I kind of did used to expect that, but I've seen so many people have been just overwhelmingly nice. And just willing to spend time and chat. And I see someone named Unstoppable Fonzie joined. I was just going to say Alfonso Davies like always makes time for the media.
He doesn't make time to come on Instagram Live.
He's making TikToks, man. He's very busy. He's a very busy person.
He can fucking TikTok it up down here.
I guess. After that Gladbach game at the Allianz Arena, it wasn't necessarily in the mix zone or anything, but Pep Guardiola is always responsive, always takes questions. I don't have any.
A backstabbing asshole. You didn't leave your checkbook around that man, did you?
No, I don't have a checkbook. I have
you didn't leave your debit card or anything that Pep Guardiola could spend all of your money on something.
No.
Okay, all right. Then you're good then, because Pep Guardiola will steal all your damn money.
Buy everyone an ultimate team. Let's see. I gotta go back on my phone and like look for some photos, because I'm just like kind of blanking right now.
What about Ada Hagberg? Because you met her during the ICC.
Yeah. I mean, definitely every professional women's player is more willing to and very happy to spend time with media, just because of where the women's game is. Players always have to build their own personal brands.
Well, minus the United States women's team, they're kind of fuck nuts about that. But
yeah, I mean, like,
I know that from personal experience. I waited to talk to Rapinoe for 4.5 hours when she came to Charlotte, and the only people she gave a flying rat's ass about was the local media that doesn't give a flying fuck about the game, doesn't care about her. You know what I'm saying? The whole
it's too bad
stuff.
when sometimes those reporters or those local networks already have a narrative and they just need a quote to plug into it, and they're like, all right, well,
and that's what
can go here, because
we spoke about the ICC women's tournament in Raleigh and how they refused me access and refused, you know what I'm saying, most content creators access because they didn't classify us as media. And the thing is looking at like the local ABC affiliate, NBC affiliate, whatever, looking at the way that they covered it, it's the exact same way that I told you, like on Twitter and stuff, was going to get covered. It's, hey, there's an ICC women's tournament, and there's a team from France, and there's a team from here, and there's a team from there, and the North Carolina Courage are going to be there, so make sure you go out and hang out and watch. And I'm like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah, it's just like, I think that's what you really get from traditional media. It's like a very wide arc. Let's see if people are at least a little bit interested, as opposed to going for very niche, very specific. But those people that are niche and specific have an audience that actually do care about something specific like that, and you could actually go a little deeper instead of just spreading wide.
Our audience would have loved, or mine specifically, would have loved to see me interview like a Jennifer Marajan or an Ada Hegerberg, a Wendy Renard. You know what I'm saying? Those level players. Yeah. But fucking ICC didn't see it that way. To me, that's what ICC's downfall is going to be, is they're taking way too much into traditionalized media. I mean, they are starting to get into, like, say, with the Cooligans and stuff like that. But for me and a lot of the people that I deal with on a normal basis, the Cooligans are starting to get into a more mainstreamish type media, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, they got a TV show now. Yeah,
so I mean, they're not really a guerrilla media creator. They're just kind of, you know what I'm saying, they've crossed over into that more mainstream, and they cover main topics and stuff like that. So it's just, you see what I'm saying? It's,
yeah.
Love the guys to death, but it's just one of those things is, okay, now you're in the Copa 90 and Bleacher Report football levels, and you know what I'm saying, you're going to have a mass overview, but there's still something that you are going to miss, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, to some extent, it's always like the rich get richer, and in that sense, it's like, oh, you already have access, well, here's some more access.
Yeah. Let's see. We had somebody.
Yeah,
I think it was according to German newspaper Bild, Borussia Mönchengladbach are the first club to voluntarily give up wages. Yeah, I saw that today. I don't really foresee them being the last one, because I know, like, I saw Frank Ribery doing. They're doing like some GoFundMe stuff for Fiorentina. Zlatan's doing some stuff with, I guess it's for the Italian hospitals. So, I mean, there's a lot of clubs that are doing that, but they're the first ones that have taken a personal pay cut or giving up paychecks for that specific type of thing. So, I mean, I'll give it to Gladbach on that, but other than that, they can still kiss my ass.
At least voluntarily, like in a lot of, at least I've been seeing in England, like all the non-league clubs, like a lot of those clubs have just had to release their players because they're not able to pay them, which is really too bad.
And that's what's going to be the big thing. And I talked to Michael Zeman yesterday about it, was as far as like the transfer market, a lot of teams are going to have to tap into that war chest of transfer money to use as just an operational costs. So, I mean, if like with Bayern Munich may have 300 million for transfers this summer, well, if they lose what they're estimating is the mid tens, so 30, 40, 50 million in revenue, we only make 40, 50 million as a profit. We may have to tap into that. So, City, you may have to just give us Leroy Sané and quit bullshit.
I was reading something from Raphael Honigstein yesterday, I think, or maybe it was Gab McCarty, maybe it was McCarty, on ESPN, saying about how the Euros, they postponed it till next year. And instead of just losing 300 million for the tournament, they're still going to lose, or instead of just a straight loss of 400 million, they're going to lose 300, but they'll make 2 billion next year. So it's kind of just postponing it. But they've already paid all these clubs, they've already paid all these federations, these monies for the players coming or for the broadcast rights coming out. So it's like, where is this hole going to be patched from, like you're saying? And what I was thinking about was usually players' contracts run out on the 1st of June. Well, if the season's going to be postponed until at least, like we saw the Premier League season today, it's not coming back until at least May 1st.
Yeah.
You're not going to finish the season by June 1st. What's going to happen with all these players' contracts?
Well, a lot of contracts don't run out on the 1st of June. They run out on the 30th of June.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right.
That's why it's like with the Premier League saying in their statement, oh, well, we've got the permission to go longer than, I think it's the June 1st or 15th deadline where it has to be done by. Well, I mean, yeah, sure, you can go till July or August if you fucking want to, but Chelsea won't have Willian. You know what I'm saying? Players that are without a contract on June 30th, unless FIFA or UEFA or the FA or somebody sits there and says, hey, we authorize you to give them another month on their contract or something along those lines. That's the only way you're going to get some of those players that are out of contract on the 30th, because I'll tell you right now, they ain't playing for fucking free.
Yeah, and it's like if they do want to join another club, they're not going to want to sign an extension for a whole year. So what is it going to be? You're going to have a transfer window before the last 3 match days of the season or something?
Yeah. All right, hold on. We got us a question. What is this? Okay, so you're starting a Bundesliga career mode in FIFA. Who would you roll with and why? And it can't be Bayern or Dortmund. Oh, that's right, because in FIFA 20, Bayern amateur squad's on there in the third league.
Ooh.
That's who I'll go with. What's up? I can't take Bayern's first team, but I'll take the second squad. What's up?
You got another loophole, man.
Yes, because last I checked, there's no other club on the planet that has their second team playing in a professional league, at least in the top 3 tiers of that. So yes, I'm going Bayern 2. What's up? But if I can't go with Bayern 2, I'll just play PES. I won't play. I quit.
I remember a couple of years ago when Villarreal got relegated from La Liga and their second side was in the second tier in Spain. They had to automatically relegate them because you can't have both of your teams competing in the same division. And I think that was the same with like Barcelona B. They earned enough points to win promotion, but they couldn't be promoted to La Liga because Barcelona's already there.
Yeah, and that's the crazy thing with the Bayern amateur squad is people think that like if they qualify to get promotion out of the third league that they'll just go to the second league. Well, they can't. They're as high as they can go. Is the third league is the highest they can go.
Yeah, the highest level for amateur teams, right? Like you have to be fully professional.
Well, you can't have a second team from your club that close in proximity. That's why Bayern. That's why the amateur squad can't play in the Pokal.
Yeah, because they only give one license per club. Like you can't have that, I guess. So.
But I mean,
I don't know.
The funniest thing is
it does make sense.
Well, when you have the Bayern amateur squad, which is technically our U23s, and I say our U23s because that's what a lot of fans kind of only understand, even though most of the players on there aren't 23. We've got guys that are older than that. But no, I mean it's hilarious to watch those guys just playing like 1860. Or 1859, because I'll get yelled at for saying 1860, but watching them play like the first teams of Kaiserslautern or 1859, they're playing their first teams, and it's like, guys, you do realize that's our second crew, and they're putting a beating on Kaiserslautern or Hansa Rostock and shit like, and it's like,
yeah, former
shit's hilarious.
Teams. Yeah.
Well, you got Kaiserslautern, who was like a former like European power at one time.
Yeah. It's like their stadium holds 50,000 people. They're too big for the third tier.
Yeah, they're the German Nottingham Forest. They were good as shit for a long time. Now they're fucking crap. But it's just it's the same as Notts Forest. It was mismanagement of the way that the team was run for. What, like mid-90s-ish to late 90s?
Well, it's like you just get relegated at the wrong time, then all this money comes into the game, and then people like Paderborn are above you because they manage their money a little bit better at the correct time.
Mm. Or you've got like people like Hamburg that are just fucking morons and don't understand how. Well, if your ownership's an idiot, your coach is an idiot, your players aren't that good, you're getting blown out in the Bundesliga, then you go down, your owner's still an idiot, your coach is still an idiot, your players still suck.
And I think they're like cursed or something because they get changed coaches 8 times in 1 year, and that doesn't do anything.
And the funniest thing is to watch them get beat by St. Pauli, and then their fans lose their ever-loving fucking mind.
Yeah.
It's honestly the funniest thing in the world. I don't like Hamburg. Hamburg sucks.
Yeah,
I have a personal grudge against that whole area. Yeah. It's a woman, but I have that whole.
I didn't know if it was a south versus north thing, like you're Bayern, you're in the south, they're in the north.
I mean, we can do that too, but but no, for me it's like people are like, why do you not like Clemson University or why do you not like the Carolina Panthers or this, that, and the other? Well, I've dated random girls in different places, and it comes to pass that they're fans of those teams. So once she treats me like shit, fuck that team.
I mean, that's the thing you remember. You maybe don't
never
remember
date in your fan base.
Yeah.
So, like, the next person I date's probably going to be like a Dortmund fan. So if I get rid of that bitch, I can hate Dortmund even worse.
Yeah, don't have to worry about anything changing in that perspective.
That's right. And plus, that relationship probably wouldn't last long anyway, because it's like.
Yeah. I mean, it could last at this time, but once the league comes back, boom, it's over.
Well, the thing is the first time she sits there and says, like, Erling Haaland's good, then I got to kick the bitch out the house.
And unless Bayern can buy him.
No. Okay, for the 9 millionth time, we don't want that fucking kid. No, we don't. We had a chance. We didn't get him.
What about in 3 years?
In 3 years, we'll have, I don't know, Timo Werner as our striker, or we'll have Kai Havertz as our striker. Fuck it, I'll play striker. Fuck that guy.
Oh, I got another zinger coming in from Frank. Of all the Bayern players, who would have the strongest dad?
Who would have the strongest dad? What the fuck? Probably Nicolas Sula.
Oh, man. His dad has got to be absolutely massive.
I mean, to carry that fucking kid, he's probably fucking gigantic. It's like the Hulk or some shit. But probably the strongest one's probably got to be either Alphonso Davies, Serge Gnabry, or Thiago's. To catch those little fuckers running around all over the place, and then have to hold them in place. Yeah, those are probably the hardest. The overall, like what's that thing called? CrossFit. Like the overall fitness people, it's got to be Fonzie's dad, Serge's dad, and Thiago's dad. But the pure strongest would have to be like Nicolas Sula, because it's like carrying a baby fucking elephant.
Dude, Sula probably came out of the womb and was like 35 pounds.
He probably came out of the damn womb at 20 years old anyway.
He said, give me another hamburger. I remember he scored a really great goal for Hoffenheim, and Nagelsmann was like, all right, I'll let him have an extra hamburger, because I guess he just loves burgers, but apparently it's too unhealthy for footballers to eat, so if he scores, he gets a burger.
But yet, if you come to the United States and win your overall title, the president gives you that shit to fucking eat. So finely tuned athletes get a bunch of crap to eat.
It's like Epic Mealtime on YouTube. They're like, all right, here's 50 Big Macs. And you're like, okay. To finish Frank's question for Villa, I think definitely Wesley, our Brazilian striker. He's like one of the strongest players I've ever seen. I think he has 99 strength in FIFA. I think he's back in Brazil rehabbing that ACL. So if the season gets postponed for so long, maybe he'll come back and we'll be able to stay up.
Well, see, that's another reason why, like, Nicolas Sula, I worry about Nicolas Sula coming back, because he's such a big guy coming off of an ACL injury. That's a lot of weight to put on a rebuilt knee. And in an NFL way, an offensive lineman, a tight end, those types may not move that much. And you see what I'm saying? In that size of a player.
You can't wear that big knee brace in soccer.
So that's kind of what scares me about him, is just the sheer fact of, does it affect his jumping or or does it make him think twice about tackling somebody? Because if he runs and goes to the ground as big as he is, I already tell you, I only weigh 150 pounds and my knees are shit.
I mean, you think about him playing a high line too. If he doesn't think he can turn and sprint after somebody, you can't play that kind of a system.
Yeah. So that's why I'm the jury's still out with him, especially watching like Quarantin Tolisso coming back and Tolisso just not being that good, coming back off of a knee injury like that. So just the sheer size and weight of that's the thing that worries me the most.
I mean, it just takes a lot of matches and a lot of game time, and at this time maybe there's more time to rehab, but you don't get as many opportunities. And that live match action, you can run on a treadmill all you want, but that can't really simulate, like you said, a tackle or something. You know, there's no social distancing if you're trying to put in a tackle.
No. All right. Well, let me ask you this question because we've got about 10, 11 minutes left, but because I want to end before the hour mark. I want to see if that works. But
close out before then.
But the question I want to ask you is the same question I ask all the people that I interview, and it's the basis of what Halftime with Bayern Ryan is. This is going to be your chance, take as much time as you want, to give a halftime speech to the fans that are watching live, the fans that are going to watch later, or the ones once I convert this to the audio form. But this is going to be your chance to give them a halftime speech to get them through the second half of their day, their week, their month, their life. However you want to do it, whatever group you want to talk to, now is your chance to give them a halftime speech. Go for it.
All right, that's a lot to take in. I just want to say, everybody watching Halftime with Bayern Ryan, excuse me, let's just start that over. I just want to say to everyone that's watching Halftime with Bayern Ryan, thank you for joining us. I know it's hard out there. You're probably cooped up in your house. If you're lucky enough, like Ryan, to have a porch, you're out on the porch enjoying some fresh air. It's a really tough time for everyone. We don't have any football, don't have any sports, but the future is in our hands. We've all got to do what we can to stop the spread of this disease so we can all get back to our lives. We've got to stay in for a bit. It's not forever. It does suck, but we can do it together, and we all got to buy in if that's how we're going to get through it. So that's what I'm going to say. Thank you for watching, and stay healthy.
Hey, that sounds like a perfect way to end it right there. So
hey, I just got lucky there. It was all just from the heart. Thank you for the inspiration.
But yeah, I just want to thank you for coming on. If you have any friends or colleagues that want to come on, let me know. We'll get them all on.
Definitely, we'll share, of course, when you publish that. And yeah, hopefully get some more people to come join you. Thank you, friend. Thank you for joining us. Thanks to everyone who's left a wave in the comments. Thanks for saying hi. Thanks for spending some of your day with us.
Yes. Everybody have a good day. This is Halftime of Bayern Ryan. And Jack, do you have anybody you want to shout out before we go?
Not particularly. I just want to give love to everybody. So everybody stay well out there, and we'll see you soon.
And make sure you go check out, is it OS Gaming?
Yeah, so it's gonna be, you could just go to my profiles and find it. We'll direct you there.
And they've got their Twitch channel coming out today, so make sure that y'all go check out Jack's profile on Twitter or Facebook. Or
no, I'm not on Facebook.
You're not on Facebook? Okay.
I'm currently banned from Facebook, so there's another one.
Okay, that's going to be for another one. But
yeah, less said on that, the better.
The Instagram, Twitter profiles, and that'll send you straight to wherever the OS Twitch streams will be.
You can watch all my coworkers are going to be on playing Overwatch tonight. I think 9 Eastern. So
that'll work.
You can check them out doing their thing.
Well, thank you for coming on, and everybody have a good day.
Man, I can't believe this is my first time. We'll have to do this again soon, Ryan. Thank you so much.
Definitely, we will. Have a good day, everybody.